one more to go. Hopefully it's a good one, for sure. Welcome back to Eddie B TV. I am, of course, Eddie B. Nice to see y'all. And we are back again for another reaction video. And for round 2 of our Random Sunday, I was gonna get into something a little different. Now, all of you guys know who tune into me that I do stand up throughout the week, Monday through Friday. And I've been waiting ever so patiently. I was waiting ever so patiently for a couple of decent clips to come from Dave Chappelle's recent special, The Closer. And nothing's really popped up, you know what I mean? Like pretty much nothing at all. There's been a lot of talk about it, and I was just still waiting ever so patiently to find a clip to react to because I hadn't seen the special, and I was like reserving that special for reaction clips. But nothing really came up, and I got tired of waiting, so I went ahead and I watched the whole special. And man, was it funny. It was extremely funny. It was classic Dave Chappelle, man. He's a genius of stand-up comedy. On my Mount Rushmore, one of the greats, hands down. And it was just overall extremely funny. But then came things that I had not been aware of, like some controversy, supposedly, coming from the transgender community about some of his jokes in there. And as I'm sitting here talking to you guys right now, I watched the whole special. The whole thing was not about transgender jokes, you know. Watch the whole special, and you'll probably get that, you know, for yourself. But apparently there's still a lot of supposed backlash from his special. I personally don't get it, and I'm not gonna pretend to get it at all. But this video came across me because I didn't realize it exists. Like, Dave Chappelle has had like a few videos that have come out that aren't really a part of like an hour and a half long stand-up special. It's just been like, you know, small clips talking about certain things. I've seen, I've reacted to one of them. I think it was called Unforgiven, if I'm remembering that right. And it was just something that I was not expecting from Dave Chappelle, but you know, Dave Chappelle is a GOAT, you know what I mean? He's one of the greats. And he does things in a way that not really anyone's really expecting, which is what kind of makes him great, you know? But I came across this video, and it's called Stunted, Addressing the Controversy. Now, if you have watched any Dave Chappelle before, he said this once in one of his specials. He says he does not feel bad for anything that he says on stage. And he said that before, and I believe that. Because just like him, I'll just speak for myself a little bit. I don't regret anything I feel. I don't care about anything that I say. I don't care if it hurts somebody, not because I want to hurt people, but because I'm not saying things with the intent of hurting someone. Now, if it does hurt somebody, let's talk about it. But, you know, if you don't want to talk about it, if you just want to fire back at me because I'm using words and not violence, then that's not really my problem at the end of the day. But I wanted to check this one out to see what he has to say about it. I don't know too many comedians or anyone who's in the celebrity world that confronts the audience directly about something that they're using, that they're saying for entertainment value, but we're gonna find out. So this one's called Dave Chappelle Stunted. And if you like this reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to giveaway. Keep everything going. So yeah, man, I wanted to see what this was all about because everyone's talking about canceling Dave Chappelle and all this stuff, and I'm like, that's never gonna happen, you know, and if it does, man, then you're gonna have a storm, a specific type of storm coming right at you, and I don't even want to know what's going to happen with that. But hey, we'll find out. Hopefully, not hopefully, if that time ever comes. But let's figure out what he's talking about on this one. Dave Chappelle was Stunted, Addressing the Controversy, right here on Eddie B TV, round 2 of Random Sunday. Let's see what he's talking about, y'all. All right, here we go.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true.
Okay.
If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
Yeah, safe environment, huh? Oh boy.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say.
Okay. That's real.
For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about. In summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it. The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846, and it dealt with the death, the murder of George Floyd.
Yeah, I saw that one.
This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos and Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Do not ever.
And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah.
You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gatsby is not funny.
I know Hannah Gatsby. Okay. What she got to do with this?
I desperately want people to see this movie. But I understand why investors would be nervous. Since nobody will touch it, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will make it available for all of you in 10 American cities, going on sale in the next few days. You will be able to see this movie in its entirety, and you can see what they're trying to obstruct you from seeing. And you can judge for yourself, but you cannot have this conversation and exclude my voice from it. That is only fair. You have to answer the question, am I canceled or not?
No.
Then let's go. Thank you very much, and good night.
Oh. It ain't coming out in Washington, huh? Guess I'm gonna have to wait to see it. All right. That is all for that. Well, what to say, man. That was Dave Chappelle with Stunted, addressing the controversy. Man, you know, I was kind of like worried about a little bit, you know, not because of anyone else confronting me about anything. No one knows who the hell I am, so it's not like I have anything to worry about per se. But, you know, everyone has their feelings on certain things that go on in the world, but the difference between a person having an opinion about something and somebody trying to declare something a fact based on what their opinion is, there's a big difference with that. You know, me, I have opinions about transgender people. I have opinions about different races. I have opinions about politics and religion and women and relationships and men, you know, and children, everything. I have an opinion about everything. But I would never, ever try to make my opinions facts just because of how passionate I am about them. I could never do that and look at myself in the mirror. I can't do that. And when it comes to this, the thing that bothers me about the whole transgender thing, this is what bothers me about it. You, transgender people wanting to be who they are, that's not what I have a problem with. What my problem is the transgender community, if there's cases of that coming out of the community, or just, you know, specific transgender people that want to try to cancel people because they say things about them. Now, if you want to cancel somebody specifically, or even a group of people, if you want to cancel them because they are violent, they're causing harm to a lot of people, like physical harm, you know, then yes, I would say go after those people and cancel them. You know, arrest them, put them in prison, do what you got to do. But the thing that bothers me is that anybody can say anything that they want, even if it's something ignorant that you might not agree with. They can say anything because, as I've heard many times about the last couple of months pertaining to this, it's like sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. You know what I mean? And that's something that, you know, I watched Steve Hughes say that on one of the videos I reacted to when he was talking about the offended, you know? And it's something that's supposed to be in you from the time that you're a kid, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be there, but somewhere along the way, people's feelings overcame the fact of the matter. And that's something I have a huge problem with because, you know, you know what I bet? I'm mixed race, right? I feel like mixed race people get, you know, a bad rap for some of the part. If I wanted to start a movement about this, I'm pretty sure that I could. And not that I'm ever gonna do that, that's completely ridiculous, but I'm sure that I could do it because this country has turned into a country of people who don't know how to manage their own feelings properly. They don't know that they cannot silence people just because they don't agree. You know, isn't that exactly what the transgender community, the gay community, the lesbian, isn't that what you guys are trying to fight from happening in the first place? Someone trying to throw you under the bus because of something that they might not agree with? Isn't that what you're trying to avoid? But yet you're trying to give it back full swing. That's not cool. You know, I have family members that are gay. I have certain people I know that are transgender, and yet I don't hate them for any reason. But if they ever tried to tell me that I couldn't say something because it just hurt them, I'm like, well, I can say whatever I want. If you don't like what I'm saying, let's talk about it. Let's educate each other on what the feelings are. And when I watched that Dave Chappelle special, he said something in that special that kind of rang very true to me. And keep in mind, I don't take sides with anything, man. I gave up on that battle a long time ago. But he was talking about how, let me see if I can word this right. He said he's never had a problem with the transgender community. His problem has always been with white people. And at first I got a laugh out of that, but then he qualified that statement and he made sense of it. Because when I think about it, if the transgender community is gaining so much acceptance the way that it has, knowing that, you know, there's a problem with black people and extensive racism, you know what I mean? And just like all these things that go on that should not be going on. And that would be, and he said he does not hate anybody. He said he's jealous of them. He's jealous about how good your movement is going when our movement is still going to hell. And that's I understand that feeling. It doesn't mean that you have to hate someone or wish bad things to happen to them, but you want to know what the hell gives, man. Like, what the hell gives? And then he talked about his friend, his transgender friend that killed herself. And that because she defended Dave Chappelle, and the transgender community roasted this transgender woman and just like, I don't know specifically things that were said, but then this person killed themselves because of that. So what you're fighting for went completely against what you say you're fighting for because of the things that are happening, you know? Now, I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself on specific things pertaining to transgender people, because even though I know in my heart that it's not hate speech of any kind, it's not gonna be taken that way by everybody else. You know, and I don't need to make that opinion clear to anybody, because one, I live and I let live. I want people to let me be me, and I want you to be you. But you can't say that you want people to let you be you and you're not letting other people be them. You don't get to do that, you know? And that really, really bothers me, man, because I just don't like it when people don't see the hypocrisy in some of the things that they do and say. It's ridiculous to me. And, you know, Dave Chappelle, he has not been a hateful person that I've ever seen, you know? And he described everything that he felt. Man, he put everybody in their place in this special, The Closer. He put everybody in their place, and yet there's still controversy. So in my opinion, that doesn't have anything to do with Dave Chappelle anymore. That has to do with y'all. And what I mean y'all is, it has to do with bits and pieces of the transgender community, not all, you know. Because he said that they've been nothing but loving and supportive. Anyone he's met from that community, I heard him say that, right? So he doesn't have a problem with the transgender community, in my opinion. He just has a problem with a step up from other people and a step down for another group of people, meaning black people, you know? And there's some validity to those statements, you know? And I don't see why it's not being seen by everyone, you know? And it's just, it shows you just how much we're not going forward at all. We're either stuck in this standstill, or we're reverting back to a very negative time in the past. And it shouldn't be that way. But yeah, man, I hope that, he said that I don't know if, I don't remember his name. He said the person who owns Netflix is the only one that hasn't canceled them yet. Because I kept reading certain things about how people wanted him to take down Dave Chappelle's Closer special, and the guy who runs Netflix refused to do it. Big ups to you, man. And I hope you stand firm in your standpoint on that. I hope that you don't, because not only was it fun, not only was his special funny, it was informative, and not only that, it was something that made you think. You have to think about things. If you're not gonna think, then you don't get the right to say anything to anyone. You have to think about everything, not just you. And that's something that will always bug me to my dying day, unless it ever changes, which I'm sure it won't. But hey, man, what are you gonna do? You know, you just gotta keep putting your best foot forward and hope that you don't keep running into the blatant ignorance that's right in front of our faces every single day. But yeah, man, that's gonna be enough yakking out of me, man. One more time, Dave Chappelle with Stunted, addressing the controversy. And if you like that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going, like I'm always saying. So yeah, man, that's gonna be it for Random Sunday, man. I tried to start it on a positive note with Catherine Tate. It was a very funny sketch that she had there. And then as I'm looking through other things to go through for the day, I saw this one, and then I just had to do it because I'm not gonna lie and say to a point I'm not in love with the sound of my own voice. I am, you know, I like what I have to say, but what I have to say is not the whole thing, and it's probably not the most relevant thing. You know, I got things I need to work on too. And I'm letting everybody know, if you're not gonna live and let live, then you don't need to be talking about anything to anyone or on any platform whatsoever. Because if you're not gonna understand that we are all in this fight together, meaning humanity, and I know that sounds corny, but I don't give a damn. If you don't realize that we're all in it together and we need to work together, man, then what do you have to provide to this argument, or this debate, or this movement, or this anything, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have nothing to provide if you're going to come at things with a hateful attitude. And that's all I gotta say about that. So this is gonna be Eddie B TV signing off one more again here. Another week of stand-up music, and today was my 2 clips here for Random Sunday in the books now. And still gonna try to get into some more new stuff, man, but I had to talk about this today because You know, I always feel like, you know, I want to speak my mind on things, but nobody's really around to listen. You know, but I'm not trying to get like angry about nothing. I'm just frustrated and I'm disappointed that things go down the way that they do. And I wish they would change, man, because, you know, the only thing that's left after this is more and more hate and violence. You know what I mean? Right now, all people are doing is saying how they feel, and that's the biggest problem. People are treating people saying what they want to say and having an opinion worse than they would be treating people who are being violent about it, which I don't get, which is ass backwards. But hey, man, you know, hopefully it gets better, man. I have nothing but respect for everybody and anyone and everyone who wants to be what they want to be: gay, lesbian, straight, transgender, whatever. Be who you are. But if you run into obstacles, man, you don't get to fight fire with fire and say that you want to be treated with respect. That's all I'm saying, you know what I mean? Even I still fight fire with fire. Sometimes I'm a vengeful spirit to a point, and I need to work on that. But if I know that it's wrong and I'm trying to do something to fix it, then hey, well, it doesn't make my circumstances any better, really. But hey, as long as I'm addressing it, the first step in solving any problem is recognizing there is a problem, right? It's a classic saying, isn't it? All right, man. Thanks for tuning in to this one with me. Hope y'all had a lot of fun. Love and appreciate y'all. Peace.